Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Tech Chit Chat Show. If you're new here, my name is Ken. You can find me on Northern Viking every day and Northern Viking Explorer on YouTube. I'm here with my co-host Stephen Loney on YouTube and 8-Bit Warrior on Twitter. Hello there, Stephen. How are you today?
Good morning, Ken. I am doing quite well. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good, thank you. Thank you for asking. I should mention, if you are watching on the replay, we'll have stamps in the description below so you can find all of the segments for exactly what you're looking for. Yeah, so we have a fun show for you today. We're going to be talking about pay-as-you-go CPUs, and pay-as-you-go cars, as well as Honda electric cars with PlayStation 5s in them, Gran Turismo on PC, the PS6, and some fun we'll call them retro game, arcade type games. So that's what we've got on the docket for you today. Did you have a good weekend there, Stephen?
Yeah, I think it's been a good weekend. Again, I should write down how my weekend is, what I did, because it usually comes and it's like gone and I forget. So
yeah.
How about yours? Do you remember your weekends? Was it good?
I did. It was pretty mellow because colds going around and that sort of thing. So just kind of a lot of relaxing. I did put up the Christmas lights, and
nice.
That's about it. So
yeah, very good.
I hear you're getting a snowstorm.
Are we?
Yes, you're getting a snowstorm tonight.
You're my weatherman. Yeah, I've heard that there was supposed to be some snow coming quite a bit. So
yeah,
I honestly don't watch the weather report. So I like all my weather to be a surprise.
Well, you have to go outside, and then if you don't go outside, it doesn't matter.
So I get my news from other people, real people, like not from the television or the computer.
Do you have your coffee there?
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. The Polar Express mug for you there.
Quickly before we start again, Ken, what happens when we reach 100 subscribers?
At 100 subscribers, we are going to be upgrading this feed from this low quality 720p feed up to 1080p. So make sure you subscribe here on YouTube to get us to 100 subscribers. We've got a few more since last time we streamed. The other thing I should mention, if you're new here, Stephen and I, we like to drink coffee and talk about tech. And we used to go to coffee shops all the time and talk about tech. And we thought we'd do a live stream and bring you the Tech Chit Chat Show. But we do encourage you to comment in the comment section and join in on the conversation. We like to incorporate you into the show and ask questions. We can't get to everything always, but we do our best. So so should we dive right into it?
Yeah, let's go.
We'll dive right into it. So first off, Intel is officially introducing pay-as-you-go chip licensing. So we'll talk about this, and then we'll maybe talk about how we feel about this.
Yeah, right.
Because I think there's going to be a lot of concerns when I say that. Pay-as-you-go chip licensing. So this is currently on the Intel Xeon Sapphire Rapid CPUs, which are server-grade CPUs, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And so what they're doing, they're basically having one SKU or one product that has everything in it. And then if you want to unlock some of the features, you have to pay to unlock it.
Yeah.
So again, these are the Xeon Scalable Sapphire Rapid processors, and they're Intel's 4th generation processor. So
now this won't be it won't be one SKU, but it will allow them to reduce the number of SKUs that they are using.
Yes,
there'll still be, I think, quite a bit.
Oh yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have said one SKU, but
just in case
it
was
less SKUs.
Yeah. They can make one SKU instead of like 4. They can now reduce down to 1 for various types. So is there more we need to talk about before we get into our thoughts on it? Or
well, let me say this. Intel did this before, back in 2010, I believe it was, and they got a lot of flack for it, and that was for like the general public consumer grade
processors.
So I think that didn't last very long.
It did not. It did not.
So, yeah. So
I vaguely remember that. It didn't last long. I remember it coming up as a thing, and then it was gone. It didn't go well. Yeah.
So I understand why they're doing it from a business sense.
Yeah.
I personally don't like it.
Okay.
But let me rephrase that.
Sure.
If you have a large business and you can just pay for the upgrade rather than bringing someone in and doing all the upgrades for you. So there's like you're not paying manpower to upgrade, like pulling out chips and whatnot.
Yeah.
I can see where it's beneficial that way. But what I don't like about it is that the person who is doing the basic level is actually paying more to have all those features built in.
Yeah, like is there any price savings to the consumer because of this feature if you don't get anything, or is it the same as before and you just
Well, that's a good question. Are they still like I shouldn't have maybe said that. Like, is the entry level person still paying an entry level price? Like, is it below what it would cost maybe for that chip because they're not using it, and then the higher grade person is covering more of it? I don't know.
Right. Would it allow Intel to like reduce the price a bit more by having less SKUs, and they can consolidate the price and make it affordable? In that sense, I think it's fine. To go over some of the technologies, the site lists here from Tom's Hardware. The list of technologies that Intel wants to make available on demand includes software guard extensions, dynamic load balancer, Intel data streaming accelerator, Intel in-memory analytics accelerator, and Intel quick assist technology. And there's like, do the most people know what those things are? No. Do I know what they are? Hardly.
Yeah.
I might know what one of them are. I kind of have a guess, right? But this is like server grade stuff, and typically this is things that's not going to help your Call of Duty run better for the most part. Like, so, or even it may not even benefit your video editing software or the majority of things that you do. This is like server grade. This is like corporate business. For the most part, there may be exceptions out there, people who have use of these things that are not corporate in business, but
I think as a consumer, where I would not like it. So I have the Pixel Pro 7. If they made the Pixel 7, not the 7 Pro, maybe if they made both of them have the 12 gigs, but if you have the 7, you only get 8 of those gigs, even though it's in the phone. Like, that would really bother me, that you're paying for something that you don't get to use, especially if it's actually a hardware. Like, I can understand it more in software, but in hardware, when you're actually paying for something physical but you don't get to use it, I really don't like that. So it'd be the same as like PlayStation putting a disk drive in your console, but you don't get to use it unless you paid the premium price. Or for that matter, they put a bigger solid state drive, but they only
give you access
unlock half of it unless you paid more. That would
or they artificially cripple it to like standard HDD speeds, and if you pay to unlock the SSD speed to it or something, just bad. That'd be bad.
So that, I understand this on a corporate side, how it can save money on both sides. So I'm probably okay with that. But on the side where you're actually paying for something, I don't like that. And that's kind of our next topic. Because Mercedes has locked their faster acceleration behind a $1,200 annual paywall, which you've already got the acceleration in the vehicle, but you have to pay $1,200 more to unlock it. Which is not cool, in my opinion. The same as I know this article also talks about BMW having you had to pay to use your heated seats. So like, to me, that's more like the example I'm talking about with your phone, where you maybe have 12 gigs but you only could use 8, or a PlayStation where you couldn't use the whole solid state drive. This is more along that feature, and this really bothers me.
I have a question though. Can I pay for the heated seats only during the winter months? Can I get
That's a good question. Like, or do you have to sign a contract?
Do I have to pay for the whole year? Like,
Well, and it also like it talks about different companies and things doing like paying for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay and that sort of thing.
I know what you would hate. Could you imagine one day you have to pay to unlock the air conditioning?
Yeah, that would be horrible. That'd be horrible. Well, because I can't remember who it was. I believe one of the vehicle manufacturers was making you pay an annual fee to use the remote start.
Okay.
In the vehicle, but I don't recall which one that was. But like that's not cool. These are features that are actually in the car, and now you're like I struggle to want to support, or I probably wouldn't buy any of the vehicles personally that do this.
Right.
Unless I mean it's one thing again if it's on the software side, but oh man, I don't know, to unlock acceleration. That's
so. Do you want to hear a technically like there's a safety thing here. So I don't think these Mercedes have. I haven't kept up to track with these electric cars. But let's say that if I don't think they do, but say that they had automated like driving assistance in there, like quite good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what their state is. But now imagine that the car was able to detect that it can safely get you out of a bad situation, but you're locked behind a paywall, so the car can't use the full acceleration to get you out of the situation. Right?
I don't like this wouldn't have that, but like down the road that could be an issue. So you're saying you could have saved me from a crash, but you decided to charge for that. That's like
it didn't because you're behind the paywall. The computer system it knew it could save you with that theoretically, and it doesn't have time to give you as would you like to upgrade?
You are about to crash. Would you like to pay $500 to avoid the
a year for life? But those are
please
things.
Avoid the crash.
You're getting even without that. You're getting into this area of like, what if that 20 to 24% actually was able to give someone the ability to survive because they needed that moment to get out of the situation?
Yeah,
you're now getting into 20% more. This is bad. More braking power. You know, like at what line are you crossing this ethical? You know, and I'm not going to put it against Mercedes and say that's in their mind, but I'm saying this is where you need to be careful because. No,
Mercedes has all the rights in the world to do it. I just don't necessarily love it, especially when it's already in there. It's not, I don't know. To me, it's like, oh, you want faster acceleration, you take your car in and you get it tuned and they put something else in there. I don't know, a turbocharger or something, and then you get your acceleration, but there's actually a physical object. So I suppose that's why I still like to buy physical copy games if I can versus
like the Call of Duty
digital.
with its 50 megabytes on disk.
But I see what you're talking about. But it's something that you could resell down the road if you didn't want it. So
that person wants 50 megabytes.
No, but you're basically buying the key, right?
Yeah, so, I hear you. I hear you.
So anyway, I don't know. It's not my favorite. I mean, there's once one person starts, I think all these companies are going to start with this, and it's just a rabbit hole I don't want to go down.
There could also be room for the one company who says, you know what? No, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
And they could actually do well being the company that doesn't go that way.
Well, it's the same as almost every airline charges for suitcases, right? Except Southwest Airlines, you get 2 free suitcases. So,
right. Oh, really? So they've like.
Yeah. So it's the same thing as like, that's their thing is that it's free suitcases. And free bags. So I don't know. Like you're right. There could be the one company, I don't want to pick a company, but they might say, hey, we're not going to charge for any of this. Or I can see it more on the luxury vehicles. That it's going to be an issue. But I hope they don't start adding it to a base model Toyota or Honda or something.
That would be similar then to the Intel article with it being the server grade Xeon chips, which is more of the corporate business side of things where there is money.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay. So let's jump over to our next article because Sony has kind of an agreement with Honda to potentially put a PS5 in their cars.
Right. Right.
So that's it's pretty interesting. Like, I mean, is that going to be behind a paywall, or is that?
What I want to know
Anyway.
is are they gonna use that PS5 for like the AI like driving assistance? Is it gonna be so no, I'm kidding. Like I don't think so. But
Well, so
why
that's
not?
Sony. They're saying they might put a PS5 in future Honda electric cars, kind of to compete with what Tesla's doing.
Right.
But they're also, I think this article talks about potentially a joint venture for autonomous driving. So I don't know if Sony would be part of the building of that.
It'd be interesting. Like what I mean, if you already have that whole system in there, would it be the problem is would it be efficient enough? Because like Tesla is using oh, it left me. What are they using? The more like CPU like phone CPUs.
Okay.
I forget what they're
like
called.
like a Snapdragon or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that kind of stuff. That more mobile phone kind of. So, but then the PS5 is like straight up x86, more power hungry, like technology compared to the mobile tech. I'm not saying you can't. So they're saying a launch like 2025. So my guess here is how PlayStation often comes out with like a slim model of the PlayStations and they're more power efficient.
Yeah.
I would imagine this would be a more slimmed down, like more power efficient version of the PS5 after a few years. I don't think it would be the current model that's out there.
Well, and so the article doesn't really talk about who would be able to play it. Is it for passengers to play the console or kids in the back, or is it actually just functional in the center console?
It would be
it talks about the Tesla. Currently, you can play Sonic the Hedgehog in some of the Teslas, The Witcher 3, and Steam integration. So,
and that's play from the center console.
Okay,
those games. So some of the games even tie into the Teslas that ties into the steering wheel. Will actually control the game. Like
but not while you're driving.
No, while you're driving. No, that's the real life game. Yeah, no. But it's funny because
Yoshi's saying ARM CPUs. Is that what you were?
Yeah. Thank you. The ARM CPUs, correct? Yeah, because they're more efficient. They're just more efficient than the x86 on average for that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. So that's coming down the road. It'll definitely be interesting to see what happens there. So, continuing on our driving theme today. Wow, we haven't talked about like cars this much in a long time, or ever. Ooh. This one is dear to your heart. I know this.
Yeah, yours too, though.
That's true. A PC version of Gran Turismo is under consideration.
Yes.
I'm
excited.
Yeah, so if this happens, this would be cool.
We've already I want to play with you. I just want to play this with you on PC.
Yeah. So the I'm not even going to say his name.
wait, can I try?
The Polyphony head guy.
Kazunori Yamauchi.
Yeah. He says, yes, I think so, to the response of, will there potentially be a Gran Turismo 7 on PC? So nothing's confirmed, but that would be pretty cool. So this article talks about scaling issues and whatnot, but it also talks about how it's already scaled for PS4 and PS5.
Yeah. I think his point being that they fine-tuned it to those consoles to make it run efficiently. But but the PS4 and PS5 now are they're kind of standard parts at this point. So the PS4 is like aged in AMD CPU architecture, and it's pretty typical GPU. It's not the PS3 era anymore. So yeah, it probably still is fine-tuned, but I think it'd be much more manageable to do than like if it was just the PS3 port coming back in the day.
Yeah.
I think it would be work, I think, but I think it'd be okay. Like the other this article mentions how Horizon and Spider-Man and Uncharted have come on over too. They probably had their own issues with porting, but it's doable, I think.
Yeah.
So.
I love Gran Turismo. That brings a lot of nostalgic memories back.
Well, we played a lot on the PS3. What was it called? There was the one track.
The prologue.
No,
But it was, or sorry, it was like when the PS3 came out, there was one track. But I think it was like the preview of prologue. I think
Concept HD or no, was that the other?
No.
No,
it was just the one track, I think, as they were developing prologue, if I remember.
Yeah, I think so.
We played that quite a bit.
We did. And we were very competitive. Like we did like one car because there was like 10 different cars you could race as, kind of.
Yeah.
And we chose just the one, and we were like competing just with the one car. And it was a lot of fun. Just one track, one car. Yeah. And you would like time trial and see who got the best time, and it got very, very competitive.
Are you gonna pump our tires on how good we got?
No, it's okay. We can leave that.
All right. Both of us ranked very high on the leaderboard for that one car.
What would happen? It was down to the milliseconds, and Ken would get a record, and then like the day or the next day, I would then leap over him, and then he would leap over me. We'd back and forth off. It was actually really, really fun.
And you'd know by the first corner if the lap was going to be good or not, because you'd
you're like, you hit the first turn, and you would like, no, pause, restart. You knew right away. So and I'm hoping I'm hoping that game would actually allow for that kind of thing again, where you can lock into a track in a car and have a time trial between friends like that.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Yeah, for sure. So with all that being said, more PlayStation talk. It's come out approximately when the PS6 will be released, and they're saying, I know this is really big, the PS6 release date will be after 2027. But why this is coming out is with the whole Microsoft Activision merger, and in the UK there's some court proceedings going on. So in this, in the court proceedings, they've PlayStation, I think, I don't know if they're testifying, but there's a redacted part about it has to do with Activision and Call of Duty.
Or Microsoft. So Activision, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Microsoft.
Right.
So it's from the a document from that court proceedings, I think, or I don't know if it's court proceedings,
because Sony wanted to know how long they would have Call of Duty on their console for, basically, and then
well, exactly, and so they're saying it's been redacted, but through this document they can figure it would be around 2027 or after, and which puts problems with how long Microsoft will let them have Call of Duty on there. So so it'll be really interesting. But what that makes is this console have approximately a 7-year life cycle before the next console comes, which would be very similar to the life cycle of the PS4. So it'll be interesting. But like with all this other stuff we just talked about, I mean, Uncharted, even, I know we've talked about that before. A lot of the PlayStation games are coming to PC. They need to definitely break into that market, I think, to keep up with Microsoft and whatnot.
Yeah. It's actually thinking if 2027, so if that's when the next console generation kind of comes in, I'm thinking that ray tracing won't be commonplace until then. It's kind of, that could be a target year, because that will be, because for consoles you're locked into the current ray tracing kind of generation, which wasn't great on console. It's okay, it's there.
Could they do a pro version?
And they could. Yeah, that's a good point. They could do a pro version and jump that kind of thing up. But yeah, that's a possibility, because the PS4 Pro was quite a bit more powerful than the base PS4, and the Xbox Series. The Xbox. Now the name is confused. The Xbox. That's their fault, I think.
Series X and S, I think.
Yeah. So when there was the base Xbox One, and then they did the X.
Oh,
just the X. Xbox One X.
Oh, the one. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was quite a bit more powerful. That was quite a jump over the base Xbox One. So if that happened again, yeah, that could be before the next generation.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking by 2027, that seems like by the time that ray tracing may not be commonplace until that year. It's kind of a rough estimation. That's the next generation of like official jump up in
Yeah.
gaming and stuff. So that's what I look at for like generational, because sometimes even PC gaming can be held down because of the console.
Mhm.
So that might be when some of the bigger tech starts to become more common.
Yeah, no,
But
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see and follow that. I know, I think we were just talking about a couple of weeks ago how the Nintendo Switch, I believe, had outsold the Wii U and the Wii combined or something like that. It was
It's
like
done well.
it's done really well. So
Yeah.
We'll see how long that console before the
Yeah.
next gen one comes out as well.
Yeah.
So our next topic, I forgot to make a title slide for this. So it is, Banana Pi reveals Raspberry Pi alternative. So
Yes.
if you're a Raspberry Pi enthusiast, you can now make a Banana Pi.
Yeah. Add it to your
little collection.
Add it to your menu.
To your menu, yeah, for dessert. Yeah. So looks very similar.
Yeah. But this one features a the 4-core Cortex A73 clocked at 2.1. So this is a 2.1 gigahertz quad core ARM CPU.
Okay.
It also mentions it does have a. You're asking what's an NPU? I had to look it up too. The neural processing unit. Apparently, it's similar. If I'm correct, that's the one similar to what's used like the iPhone 6s or something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, it just seems like these are. I like these. These are neat.
Yeah. So 4 gigs of RAM, 16 gigabytes of eMMC flash, and a micro SD slot. There's also an M.2 socket. Because it doesn't have Wi-Fi, you could put a Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth card in there.
Yeah.
So pretty cool little device if you're into that. And then as for software, there was no confirmation, but I believe previous versions had Android, Ubuntu, and Debian.
Yeah, there's you can install like Linux things on there, and it's pretty cool. And it only has 4 gigs of RAM, but that's enough for like a lot of the Linux distributions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's not the same as Windows.
And I believe it can do video output as high as 4K 60. So pretty neat. Pretty neat. There's no pricing yet on that, but it might be a fun little thing to get in your stocking.
I've wanted to get if you want to get me one of those for my stocking, I've been wanting to get it. I don't have a Raspberry Pi. I've wanted to get a Raspberry Pi, specifically the Raspberry Pi 400 that's built into the keyboard. So I've been wanting to jump into one of these things, but maybe I'll wait and see how this guy pans out and
see the reviews.
Yeah, I'll wait and see.
Yeah. So if you don't know what to get for someone for, I don't know if it'll be out for Christmas, probably not, but for next Christmas.
Preferably they're a nerd. Please don't buy this for like your secret love who knows nothing about computers. Okay. They'll be like, hey, they're
yeah. Do a little bit more research then.
Know the person you're buying it for. If for me, you can buy it for me. But for some people, please don't buy this. Yeah.
But you could buy them this. Everybody wants one of these. The Simpsons arcade cabinet.
Yes. Actually, that one's yes. You play the 4 people, 4 of you can play together. So let's go.
So these are, I don't know if the deal's up now, but Dell of all people was selling these for $299 plus $150 Dell gift card. You can get the Simpsons arcade cabinet.
Yes.
As well, there's also because they're regularly $700 each, but they also had Terminator cabinets, Pac-Man. These are like a mini one.
Yeah.
So you're all set there
apparently
if you want your own little arcade.
At least with I know the Simpsons one and at least maybe the Terminator one as well. They're like 3/4 to scale, so they're not the full scale, the original, but 3/4, which is not bad, pretty close.
Yeah, no, they're
It,
smaller, but
yeah, but they
so
would fit
this,
well into your house and stuff like that.
I believe this version of The Simpsons, it said game was from 1991, if I recall.
Yeah.
So, and then it
Yeah.
was re-released in 2012 on the PlayStation and Xbox Live, PSN and
Right.
Xbox Live. So yeah, it's if you're into that sort of thing, it might be
That's cheap. If you're able to order from Dell, from the Dell
Mhm.
site for that price, that's really cheap for that. And that's a really
yeah.
and that's a fun thing to put in a room and play with other people. And
Yeah, it looks like it's got the 4 controllers there.
yeah.
Now, I mean, with the if you're planning on buying something else on Dell, I mean, $299 plus a Dell gift card, I mean, that's down to $150.
Yeah.
So
That's
if you need a monitor or something,
yeah.
that's pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of brings us though into our question of the day.
Yes.
Did you ever play any Simpsons games?
I actually played Simpsons Arcade on a trip to Seattle with my family up in the Space Needle.
Oh, fun.
Oh, is this called the Space Needle? Is that what it's called? Did I have it wrong?
Yeah, in Seattle,
yeah.
Space Needle.
Yeah. I was like 5 years old and I didn't have any like
well, it came if you were 5 years old, it came out when you were 5.
Oh,
so I don't think or
yeah.
when you were Oh yeah, it came out when you were 5.
Yeah, I didn't think about it, but that would have been like new.
Right,
that would have been like,
out.
And so I remember being a kid seeing it. You go up the Space Needle. You're already on this kind of cool trip, and then but the most amazing thing to me was the Simpsons arcade game. That was more amazing than anything else. And I remember seeing.
I highly doubt they have that up there anymore.
That would be cool if they did. I doubt it too, but I remember seeing it. It was like in demo mode, and I'm a kid, and my parents weren't really into video games. They were like the ones that like didn't care for them, and so. But I was like looking at the game, wanted to play it, and some stranger like skip stranger danger. He was like, "Here's some money." He gave me like a quarter or something to play it, and I was able to play it because some stranger. And that's my memory is playing the Simpsons arcade as like a 5 or 6 year old in Seattle because of some stranger who gave me a quarter or something to play it. So it was so like amazing experience. So this is nostalgia for me.
Yoshi says Simpsons wasn't much of his thing.
No,
a thing in his family. So
it wasn't for everybody.
Yeah, no, for sure. For me, I don't think I actually ever played that one. The one I did play a little bit was the one on PlayStation 3.
Oh,
I have it here. I'll put it up.
We had the demo.
Yeah. So game, The Simpsons, is it was more of an open world concept.
It was.
And so Homer blows up like a balloon and walking around. Yeah. And then there's like the big giant bubble man walking around or something trying to get you.
That was a time.
Yeah.
I think we played the demo or something.
Yeah, I think at one point I did have the game, so I played a little bit more than the demo version, but
right.
Yeah. So that one was called The Simpsons Game.
And I think that came out after the movie or something had been released.
Oh yes, the controversial movie. Oh, my face is blurry. There we go.
Was it controversial?
Well, I think Bart skateboards nude, so there was or something.
I never saw it, so the one that's not that controversial. Anyways,
no.
the one game that a lot of people probably played would be Simpsons Hit and Run. That's probably
yeah.
It's like Crazy Taxi, but with the Simpsons, and that one was. I think I played only a little bit of that one, but that's another popular one. But
actually, my favorite Simpsons kind of memorabilia of all time. It kind of makes the emotion sick, but if you've ever been to Universal Studios, I don't know if they still have it. It was where the Back to the Future ride had been. There was like a virtual Simpsons ride, like where you sit in one of those big carts, and then like there's the big screen and the cart rocks around.
Right.
Kind of made you motion sick, but it was like immersed you into the Simpsons ride.
You went on it?
Yeah, it was super cool.
Was it 2D hand drawn animations?
I don't know. Well, it was like, yeah, like you were in the cartoon.
That's cool, because
So
I think of the work that I would have taken to hand drawn if they were doing hand drawn sequences.
I don't know if it was hand drawn. I can't say for sure, but it was the cartoon for sure. And then you're like riding all over like what's it called? What's the town? Springfield. Yeah. So I want to say Spring Valley, but I think that's Back to the Future.
I was thinking Shelbyville, but that's the other city.
So, yeah. So that was a fun ride for sure, but it does make you motion sick. So,
yeah. It's worth it.
Yes. Awesome. Well, yeah. Do we have any comments from the Peanut Gallery out there? We appreciate those, or questions about today. Do you have any other thoughts on today, Stephen?
Oh, don't have much else for today. I have a computer part to upgrade in my computer today, so I'm off to go do that. But I have old tech. I'm upgrading from a 2011 CPU to a 2013 CPU today.
Nice.
So that's where my computer's at.
Nice. Part of my computer's in Alaska right now.
Yeah. I'm upgrading from like 10-year-old tech, and you have like, what do you have? You have a box. Can you get your box of?
Oh, yeah. I have this. I wasn't too happy. This came. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. But my new motherboard came with like a bashed corner on it. Yeah. So it was clearly dropped in the shipping process.
But honestly, you also have you just want a processor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is what you have to put together. 13700K. So yeah, I'm picking up today, Lord willing, a 4930K.
Okay.
And you have yourself a 13700K. So
yeah. And my DDR5 RAM is in Alaska. So in the FedEx warehouse. So it's coming from Taiwan, apparently. So
yeah, it'll get there. It's okay.
I ordered it from Corsair and off their website, and I assumed it would just be coming from Canada, but no, it's coming from across the world.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
What's an ocean?
But yeah. Oh, thanks, Yoshi. Yes, DDR5, 5600 megahertz.
Yeah.
So it'll be I'm excited to get this build going. It takes time because I do a lot of videos on it, so it'll I mean, I could put it together in 2 hours, but then
you have no content to make.
Yeah, so I'm making a whole bunch of videos on it, so it'll be fun. So yeah, if you want to check out those, you can find them over on Northern Viking every day as they come out. But I guess sorry, did you have
one more question from Yoshi? Are we decorating for winter or Christmas? Are we going to have a Christmas theme behind us?
Oh, behind us, or like the main part of our house? We already have our Christmas tree up, and our stockings and our Christmas lights are up. But if you meant the show, that's a good question. I could probably hang a stocking off the little knob here on my door.
Didn't even think about that. We'll see.
A good question.
I might get myself an ugly Christmas sweater. Maybe I'll find one of those.
Oh, the Grinch one. Oh, that's what we were gonna talk about.
Oh, were we?
Okay, you keep talking there while I search this out.
So if anybody, actually, the ugly, we talked about the ugly Microsoft sweaters, like that clippy.
Yeah,
the clippy.
I'll bring it up here.
Is that what we were going to talk about?
Yeah, but we totally forgot.
I thought we talked about that like 2 weeks
ago. I don't think we did. I think we canceled because we were like not feeling well.
No, I think we did.
Well, we're going to talk about it again.
We talked about this, but yes, we could look at getting these.
Clippy is the star of Microsoft's latest ugly sweater.
Yes.
Like, that's my favorite one of them.
Yeah.
Like, they've got the old ones. I don't know if they're in this article, but they've got the old ones.
Oh, that's nice though. I like that.
I like the Clippy one better, but that one's nice.
That makes me want to go back to the early like 90s and like I don't know. I just want to yeah.
Like that one's amazing.
Where can we buy those locally though? I kind of want to yeah. Can I go to a store and pick one up?
Probably not. I don't think they have them at Best Buy. So
Unfortunate.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's wind down there. Steven, again, what happens at 100 subscribers?
Well, Ken, glad you asked. At 100 subscribers, we are looking to upgrade our lowly 720p feed to a 1080p feed, so you can see ourselves in more high definition and all that kind of cool stuff. And we'll also be streaming to more platforms, as we can only stream to 3 at a max right now. So we'll get more perks and things like that. So yeah, so if you're on YouTube, feel free to subscribe to us here. And if you're on other platforms, feel free to, you can contact us. Actually, Twitter's a good place. You can find I always forget
for now, as long as it's still working.
As long as it's working. You can find us at tech_chitchat on Twitter. And again, if you guys come across articles and stuff like that, you can message like articles and links and stuff to there. Twitter's probably the best way. Or if you're on YouTube, you can message us here and all that. So
for sure. And no, Yoshi, we're not going to do 4K streaming.
No,
sorry.
No, not
just get an upscaling monitor.
Please wait for 2027.
Yes. All right. Well, we appreciate all of you watching this week, and I know we had a couple weeks off there, so we are back, and hopefully we will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good week. Take care.
Take care, guys.